Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa la. Ya Rabb, subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma alamtana, innaka antal alimul hakim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri, wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli ba'd. How are we doing, John J? Doing good? How many of you here are from John J? Raise your hand. That's good. Is there like an exam going on or something? Is this an exam season? Or no? Midterm season? Well, because I was in the bathroom and somebody was listening to a lecture in the bathroom. Usually people, when they're doing their thing, they listen to other kind of stuff. Only one time I was in a bathroom and this guy listened to some really emotional anime. And I'm not sure how that works out with taking a dump, but that's the only time. But the other part is, if you ever walk into a bathroom and you know a Muslim was there, especially like you go on a long highway, and you get off at one of these rest stops, like a Muslim was there. You know how? Wet, yeah, partly. There's a water bottle, and it's being used. It is right there. So I know, okay, a Muslim was here. That's good. Very nice. How many of you? What's your majors here? What do you guys study? Computer science. Criminal justice. Duh, that's the college. What else do you guys study here? Let's make it more interesting. International criminal justice. Economics. Political science. Wow, there's nobody pre-med. That's good. Forensic science. My goodness. What? Toxicology. Oh my goodness. So we have no bio people here. One lone. Oh, that's interesting. With other around in most colleges. I go a lot of campuses. And people come up to me and they go, because they know I'm a therapist and I'm in the field of psychology, they get all interested, like, oh, Brother Mohammad, I study psychology. As if I'm supposed to be impressed, A psychology degree and I'll tell you, it's my field. A psychology degree as a bachelor's is one of those participation degrees. It's like you participated in college, You got that degree. You're like, no, yeah, I want to find myself, Yeah, okay, all right. But no psychology major here? So I can make fun of you? Only one or two? All right, that's good. I have no respect for you until you go to grad school. All right. So psychology in bachelor's level is a degree that you get when you don't know what else you want to do with your life. So I want to learn about people. Well, learn about yourself. All right. Very good. That's good. So we got a lot of interesting degrees here, not the classic bio pre-med. That's very nice. So I'm really excited to be back at John Jay. I've been here several times now. How many of you are here for the first time that you see me speak at this college? Raise your hand. First time? Okay. How many of you are here last time I was speaking here? Okay, very nice. Okay. So welcome back. And those of you who are here for the first time, haven't ever heard me speak before, or haven't been to one of my workshops, you're welcome. I do things a little bit different, so we'll see how the night progresses. How much time I have? Organizers? For 40 minutes. So the problem is I can't get started till like 45 minutes. That's usually my introduction. And then I get started, all right? So, but we'll try to get the most out of our next 45 minutes, inshallah. So today we are talking about what? Donald Trump? No, we're not talking about Donald Trump. So today we're talking about the journey of life, finding content through failure and success. I have 3 words for you. 3 words. Can we remember 3 words? John Jay, right? So can we remember 3 words? Okay, the first word, people, is called perspective. Yell it out for me. What's the first word? You guys, come on, let's get some more energy. What's the first word? Very good. The second word is gratitude. Gratitude. Well, that's the whole flyer. Gratitude. So what's the second word? Very good. I'm like, oh, what is this? It's kindergarten? No, gratitude. Say it loud, people. What's the second word? Gratitude. Very good. And the third word is action. Say it loud with me. What's the third word? Action. You see, the flyer says gratitude, finding contentment, gratitude, right? Well, that's the middle. We have a prequel and a sequel. The prequel to gratitude is perspective, and a sequel, a follow-up to that, is an action. So in our life, all of us, as in my dramatic introduction video that I made for you guys, somebody told me I liked it. It was dramatic. So I said, okay, well, I was actually on a trip in Maryland with a few friends, and it's a gorgeous area. It was supposed to be one of the better places to look at fall colors. So what would I do with that from city? But still, we went there. We had a lot of fun. We found waterfalls and things like that. But anyway, so John Jay guys asked me, can you make a promo video? I said, all right, I guess I'm here. Might as well make something. So that's why we had that dramatic video in the dramatic background. All right. So as I said in the video, in our lives, all of us, we go through ups and downs. Maybe some of you sitting here in this room right now, you're going through the down phase of your life. Maybe school is not working out. Maybe for some of you, you have family problems. Some of you are struggling financially. Some of you just broke up from a relationship. You're going through that down phase in your life where things are not working out. Things seem tough. You made a mistake. And you feel like, why is Allah doing this to me? Or maybe, some of you in this room, you're at the up stage of your life. You're going through amazing time right now. Whether you are in a relationship, whether your school's just doing great, you found an internship at Wall Street, or you are about to, you got a great job, even as a college student. Things are just going good. I mean, you're at the top of the world. Either wherever, in between some of you as well, but wherever you are in your life, each part of your life has some blessings and has some challenges. So if you're at the down part of your life, and so you're dealing with sadness, you're dealing with anxiety, you are, going through hurt, or you're going through a high stage where you are so overwhelmed and you're afraid you might lose the good stuff in your life, or you are currently messing up relationship because you're so high off of this great part of your life, they don't care about anybody else. You think things are good for me. And so, regardless of these two highs and lows of life, there are these three things. What were the three things? Perspective, a second one. Gratitude, and thirdly, action. Perspective. Regardless you're up or down in your life, first thing we need is perspective. Exact 1 year ago, I lost a friend. A good friend of mine, a good friend of Jawad. He was a bright young man in our community in Jamaica, Queens. And I remember, being, together, we went to events. He came along with me. He was in my car, literally, 2 weeks, 3 weeks before, he passed away. Now I remember him sitting in my car. And then to go to his janazah, he passed away, and to go to his janazah, and I remember the day of, after janazah, the morning of, they were going to take him to the Long Island Cemetery. And I remember, he is a son. He doesn't have any siblings, so he's the only child of his parents. And the pain that a parents go through, no parent should ever have to experience seeing the death of their own child. And I remember, that morning, his body was in that car, the funeral home car, and I remember his mother, auntie, she was looking at him, and she was saying that, may Allah protect you, and the pain that I saw in her, I can't describe to you in words. We literally, Jawad can tell you, we saw her doing this. We saw his last glance. We sat in the car and we cried. When I went to the Long Island Cemetery, I don't know, those of you, I don't know if you have been to a graveyard before or you witnessed a burial. It's one of the most powerful moments that you can ever experience. The body is, those of you who have not been to a burial, in Long Island Cemetery, at least, different burial sites, different places do it differently. But at Long Island Cemetery, very popular for most Muslims in the tri-state area in Long Island. And in Long Island Cemetery, basically, they bring your casket, right? And there's the 6 straps that goes, on each side. And they put it on top, and there's obviously the holes on the bottom. And you can imagine the casket right there, and when the family is ready, they said, we're ready? They sort of let go of the straps, and then slowly it goes down. Right? You see the body. And when I was watching, Tanveer, his body being lowered, I can't tell you, it put my life in perspective. 21-year-old. And when I saw his body, I still can picture it vividly in my eyes. His body was being lowered, and as it was being lowered, all the way down. And his father was the first one to pick up the shovel. They said he could throw some dirt, because they let the family members, friends throw dirt first, and then they would bring a crane and put the whole thing on top. But for a father to put dirt on his own son, I can't describe to you in words the pain in his eyes. And all the young people that were standing around. And while he was being buried, they asked me, can you say some words? Can you make some dua? And in that moment, when I saw that body being buried, that young man that I saw him a few weeks ago in my car, he was in my house. And that same person, and when someone dies, it's as if you don't even recognize them. When you see their body, your mind does not want to even connect with them, because it's too hurtful. It hurts too much. So you don't want to even see them as a person. I see the body, I see his face, I see they washed him up, they wrapped him up in white cloth. I see him, but I can't think of him as Tanveer. I can't. And so as they were lowering his body down onto the ground, right? And they said, Brother Muhammad, can you say something? And at that moment, I just remembered a verse from the Quran. Well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in this small passage of the Quran, He says, ألهاكم التكاثر. That at-takathur, a lot, kathir, a lot diverts you. It takes you away, it makes you forget about what life is, how long life is, the perspective that you need to have. You lose perspective. Hatta zutul maqabir, until you visit the grave, you lose perspective. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, Alhaakumut takathur, a lot. And the scholars of the Quran, they say that there are many explanations, and one of them is that there are two things diverts you. Your need for a lot diverts you. Your need for a lot. We all want more. More in our money, more in our fun, more in our chilling, more in our grades, more in our jobs. We want more. More in our clothing, more how good we look. There's always need for more. You are a teenager just a few years ago, and you're thinking, as soon as I get to college, I become an adult, I get my driving license, and or some college folks, I go away to college and I'm out of my dad's, and my mom was yapping all the time. I'll be the happiest person. And you get to college. Then you say, college, but the process is too hard. The school is disorganized. And you say, as soon as I can just finish my undergrad, then I'll be happy. And you finish undergrad. Then you go, well, yeah, I know I got the degree, but job market is very tough. I need my first job. I'm even applying. I applied 20 places. I got 0 interviews. And you say, as soon as I get a job, then I think my life will be at a good place. So you get a job. You say, yeah, I know I got a job, but it's just a job. It's just the first job. And as soon as I can make, have a better job, get a promotion, as soon as I can find the love of my life and I can get married, then I'll be happy. So you get married. He said, yeah, I know, alhamdulillah, I got married, but Allah hasn't blessed us with a child yet. I want a child, And he said, Allah bless you with a child. He said, yeah, I know, I got a child, but he's only 2, the treble 2s, and it's difficult with the kids and the nappies, diapers, and if he just gets a little bigger and he can understand things, and I don't have to really baby him, then I'll be okay. Then your son becomes a teenager. He said, no, but it's the teenage years, the crazy teens, and oh my goodness, as soon as she can go to college, she can have her own career, then I'll be happy. Then I think I'll be in a good place. So your children becomes college age, they become adults. He said, well, yeah, they're adults, but I really want them to settle down in life and get married. And then I'll be, if I can just hand her off to a good man, then I'll be happy. Then I think I'll be in a good place. If I can get my son settled and he's just not goofing around, then I'll be happy. And your son or daughter gets married. He said, yeah, I know they're married, but I want a grandson or grandchild. And you never end up finding happiness. There's always the next. There's always the next. You never actually end up finding happiness. Philip Brickman, one of the researchers, him and his colleagues did a study in Illinois, where they studied, folks who wins lottery, right? So these are massive, mega $1 million lotteries, and they studied how happy a person is. You can imagine if you win a lottery tomorrow, and we say it's not a joke, right? If you win a lottery, life is all good. But really, literally, somebody who wins a lottery, they win the maximum amount of money they can make in one shot, right? You can't make that much, right? And so, they studied these people who win lottery, and they studied how happy they are, and most importantly, how happy will they be and how happy they expect to be in the next few years. Because when you just get the lottery, it's a hype, right? People are calling you, friends are calling you, people that you haven't known for years, they think they're your best buddies, and people think you're the coolest. But when that hype goes away, after that, how happy do you expect to be? And then, as a control, they took regular folks from Illinois and random sample data, and they asked them, how happy are you, and how happy do you expect to be in the next few years? Surprisingly enough, they found that the people who are just normal, average folks, and the people who win lottery, the biggest financial gain you could ever have, they don't expect to be any more happier in the next few years. Why? We human beings only have certain capability of happiness. You see, as someone who is building a hut in the village for his family, brand new hut, he's so happy that he can provide for his family. And that uncle who buys a new mansion in Long Island, his happiness, I squeeze it in a bottle, I put it in a bottle, and I take that old man and his build a brand new hut, and he squeeze his happiness, put it in a bottle, is the exact same 8 out of 10, exact same. You see, the same happiness that you get when you drive your first Toyota Camry, and someone else who drives a Bugatti is the exact same. For you, you get thrilled, that person is getting thrilled, same exact amount. Same goes with stress too. I know someone who earns $20,000 a year. He's stressed about his MetroCard, paying his MetroCard bill. And I know someone who earns $500,000. He's stressed about his third house. You take his stress, put it in a bottle. You check his stress, put it in a bottle. It's the exact same amount. We human beings, we calibrate. So you go into a room, it smells like biryani. After a while, you don't smell it anymore. Today's luxury becomes yesterday's relics. That's how we are hardwired. And so we keep on wanting more, and we never find happiness. We never find contentment. Alhaakumut takathur. Perspective. That a lot diverts you, takes you away. And not only your want for more, but your competition for more. Competition for more. And so in Surah Kahf, the story of the two men in the garden, he said, "Ana aktharu minka azwa," and I'm better than you. Look at my garden. And we compete. And in this culture of social media, Instagram culture, we compete. We're competing all the time to show our best self. Right? We're watching other people's highlights, and we're comparing our lives. And compared to people's highlights, our life is dull, it's boring. All of us are competing to show more, look better. I went to this barbecue. You didn't believe this. I went to this barbecue, right? One of my friends, he has a rooftop house, right? And so we went to the barbecue. I swear to God, I sit down, right? First guy comes in, so snap. Yo, we out here. Okay, take a snap. Second brother comes in from Brooklyn. He comes in. First thing, yo, we out here. I said, man, exact same word. Third guy comes, I swear to God, third guy comes in, exact same word. Yo, we out here. And dude, after that, he was all excited on his snap, but he sat down and he was so boring. I was having more fun. Right? He was just like, sitting there. Oh, okay, guys, so I guess we're going to go, And we portray, the most, we got. And we compare, there's a problem where people are feeling the stress that a celebrity is supposed to feel. A 13-year-old girl is feeling the stress of a model. If you are a model, that's your profession. So you obviously you're Kim Kardashian and or the Kardashian family, and you keep up with them, and you put up what dress you're wearing, where you're going, how you're looking, your makeup. You do that because that's your profession. You make money off of that crap, right? You're a 13-year-old. You're in middle school, you're in high school, and that girl is feeling the exact same stress. I have 13-year-olds who are my patients. They're feeling the exact same stress that you would imagine a model would feel, because they're on the public figure. They have to keep up with what dress they wear. Even aunties, they cannot wear the same dress they went to one wedding with. Right? You wear it once, that's it. Right? And you're feeling that stress that only a celebrity is supposed to feel. Now, average young people sitting in this room, you're feeling the stress of a celebrity. Dude, you're not a celebrity. And you're not a public figure. Why are you feeling that same stress? Everyone is on their own little public figures. And everyone portraying a life that, look at my life. Oh, life on a swell. Look at that. And you know what? You got dollar bills, whatever the case might be. And I know one kid, man, on Snap, he has his little, doing his little drugs. He got alcohol. Oh, look at life on a swell, right? That kid lives with his mom. And his mom was going to kick him out. The mom called me. He said, I'm tired of his nonsense. I want to kick him out. I threw his stuff out the house, and he has no place to go. What do you mean you live life on a swell? Relax. Every single kid, so-called entrepreneur kids. I'm telling you, I'm in entrepreneurship. We do, and trust me, entrepreneurship is hard, right? Anybody who is showing off that they have a business, that's like the new fad of 2017, right? I have a business. I'm doing my own little thing. Either one, they got their pop's money. That's what they're showing off, right? Or number two, you're on some scam level, and that scam's going to die in 1 year. Right? Real entrepreneurship, you're doing real business, especially young folks here, you want to start your business. Real business requires you hard work. Mark Cuban didn't take vacation for 7 years. That's real work. But we have this competition. Alhaakumut takathur. There's this constant, you got to show off. You got to portray some picture. Your life got to look better. Your vacation got to be better. Your pictures got to be 10,000 filters. But I see you in real life. You can't live a life on filter. You got your pimples, you got your busted nose, you got your hairlines. It's there. Embrace it. Embrace it. And people, you live on this anxiety. You're constantly trying to portray who you're not. You're not that. Stop it, right? And you're trying to compete on who got more likes, and that it stresses you out. You get up in the morning, how many likes I got on my picture? You're not a public figure. That's not how you make money. You're just a student. If you are a public figure, I'm a YouTuber. Yeah, okay. Everybody else is a YouTuber nowadays, right? You're not a YouTuber. Relax. If that's your real profession, I encourage you, go ahead. I'm a social media marketer. What is that? Everybody's a social media marketer. We all do that, right? If that's your profession, go for it. Of course, I encourage you. More Muslims should become YouTubers. Great. A lot of influence. YouTubers are the new celebrities, right? It's not television stations. It's the YouTube channels. Those are the new TV stations. I encourage you, go ahead, do it. But don't have the pressure of a competition and you're constantly trying to show who you are and where you went to school, how much. And people have these humble brags too, right? And they brag about things and act like they're not bragging. And say mashallah. Then why'd you put it up? Let me say mashallah. Like you got to demand, say mashallah or no, right? What do you mean? You put it up, you put it up. You get that nazar, you get that ayn, that's you. Don't force people to say mashallah. But this is constant need for more. Alhaakumut takathur. Allah says that you have this competition. Right? And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, hatta zutul maqabir. That all this stops when I saw Tanveer, when I saw his body being lowered. At that moment my life was in perspective. Allah says, you will see it, you will see the fire. لَتَرَوُنَّ الْجَحِيمِ. And later on in that same passage. That you're going to see the fire. In Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was, one time he was crying for a few days. And his daughter Fatima, anha, she came to her father, Father, what makes you sad? And he said, oh my daughter, only if you knew. There will be man and woman from this ummah, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There will be man and woman from this ummah who will be dragged onto the fire. And they will be brought to the blazing hell. They will be at the edge of the fire. And Malik, who is the guardian of the hellfire, he will say, Ma ahsan al-buka la kana fi dunya. What a beautiful tears. Only if you can shed them for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in dunya. What use is it now? You're going to see the fire. At the same time, inshallah, we're going to see the Jannah. You're going to be at the gates of Jannah, inshallah. I'm going to be at the gates of Jannah. The gates of Jannah are so big that it takes a rider 40,000 years. A rider, 40,000 years to cross between one edge of the door, another edge of the door. That door, 2 people blocked, right? Dinghy club down the street, 1 person, right? And that big bouncer dude. But that's about the space. In Jannah, door of Jannah, literally 40,000 years, 1 person can go from one end to another end. On Yawmul Qiyamah, that door is going to be packed. I'm hopeful that I'll be on that VIP list, that you'll be on that VIP list, inshallah. Look, Allah didn't care us to punish us. What use is that? We came from Jannah, we're going to go back to Jannah. You know, in paradise, you will know your house better than you know this life. You know, when I go on a long trip and I come back, and you know, when I get to Holland Tunnel, or I get to the Staten Island, I turn off my GPS. I don't know, those of you do long drives, you know, you use the road, 73, 91, whatever, and then you get to New York City. I know the roads in New York City. I've been here for 20-something years, right? And so when I get to New York, I turn on my GPS. In Jannah, as soon as you enter the door, you will know your home. Better than you know your home in this life. Perspective. And this is why I began with this, is because I began with this. See, I told you how much time I have. Look at this. I'm halfway done. All right, here we go. I haven't even started. So, the reason why I began with this, there was a study done by Dr. Irvin Yalom. Dr. Irvin Yalom is a fascinating researcher in the field of spirituality and psychology. And he studied people who are at the end of their life, terminally ill, who are, you know, stage 4 cancer. And he found something fascinating about these people and their families. That when someone is diagnosed with the cancer, last stage, it does something powerful in their life. When you know that you have only few weeks to live, few months to live, doctors said at most 6 months. When you get that deadline, it changes your life. Soon you start to prioritize your life. Things that you're getting bothered about, you don't get bothered anymore. You start to enjoy the little stuff in life. You let go of the anxiety you have when you interact with people. You know, connect and make friends. You let go of hesitations. And so I'm telling you tonight is that you're going to die. All of us are going to die. And this is not some kind of depressive topic. Oh, death, come on, talk about death. No, it's not really. As for me, I'm not talking about death. That's for a different time. Talk about death, talk about turning back to Allah. That's not my topic today. I want to share this perspective. Because once you know where your life stands, and you have that perspective, then you can balance when you're going through ups in life, and you're going through downs in life. Either way, you're going up or you're down, it helps you when you can know the perspective. You know, I did this talk, I did a talk on Yusuf alayhi and I showed this little example. I was going to actually, my first goal actually was to actually share with you the life of Yusuf when he was at the highest point in his life, and life of Yusuf when he was the most lowest point in his life. Yusuf alayhi salam, the Prophet Joseph, compare his highs and lows, and it's fascinating. But that would take me 3 hours. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm here to talk about the 3 words. What are the 3 words, people, again? Perspective. Gratitude. Number 3, action. So perspective. You see, look, I have this yarn. I took it from my office as for my play therapy box. Okay, so let's see if we can. So to check this out. You see this yarn here. Now this yarn, when you buy it brand new, it's all rolled up. It's this big. You guys know that, right? It's huge. Literally, I could go from here to like all the way to the end of the hallway, right? I want you to imagine that's time. All the entire. I want you to imagine the entire piece is all time wrapped around. Time. Okay. Your life. Whether you live till 70, you live till 80, 90, 100, 110. All that, if you compare to eternity, literally is not even this much. Literally, right here, this much. This is your life. Your drama, your fights, your worries, your stress, your school, your marriage, your kids, everything. Just right here. And the afterlife, the next phase of your life, endless. I could go on. That's perspective. You know what that does to you? What that does is, when you're going through the down in life, you remember your ultimate place, your paradise. So no matter how bad things are, no matter how difficult time you're going through, it helps you cope with it. Not that you have a fake positive smile. That's not what I'm talking about. When you have this perspective, it lets you move forward in life. It lets you cope with life. And that's why no surprise that Asiya, the amazing woman in the Quran, when she was being tortured by her tyrannical husband, he was a tyrant, a killer, and because she believed in Musa, she was tortured. And I can't give you the description of her torture. She was hanged from the upper part of her body. That's all I will say. And she was able to face that torture, that kind of pain. You know why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says that she turned to Allah and told Allah, Ya Allah, make me, next to you a house in paradise. Literally, the Mufassirun, they say that her house in paradise was shown to her while she was being tortured. And she started smiling. In the most immense physical torture, knowing your life in perspective helps you cope. And so, as a Muslim, life is not fair. You're right. As a Muslim, our belief is that life is not fair unless you also take into consideration afterlife. If you just look at this life, life is never fair. Because you're looking at the wrong equation. You're just looking at this little piece. Allah says, look at the whole piece. You look just this much. Life is not fair. How come? If there's a God in this world, how come? How come? Look at this. Look at this small piece, people. Allah says, no, look at the whole piece. Look at the whole piece. Look at the eternity. Look at the whole piece. Then you will see your life in perspective. And so when that happens to you, you as well, what happens is that Allah helps you to cope with your downs in life. If you look at the life of Yusuf alayhi salam, there were so many periods in the life of Prophet Joseph where he went down and then came back up, down and came back up. I mean, being taken away from his father, sold into slavery, right? Then, brought up in the house of a finance minister. Then, being accused, of stabbing, and going behind the backs of his finance minister, being put in jail, for many years. Then coming out as as the finance minister. And then his brothers getting reunited. If you just looked at one piece of his life, you said, what, why do I have so much pain? Because you just looked at one piece. You just looked at one piece. When you can see your life in a perspective, in the entire equation of your life, then your life makes sense. I give the example. Imagine this. I always show this example when I make this point. Some of you probably have seen it before. But whenever I show this point, I show this example. Look, see this? Lego set. You see, it's a nice Lego Friends. It's a new stuff, all right? Don't buy the old big blocks. Nobody plays with that anymore. All right, so in this Lego set right here, you see, when you get the Lego set, it comes with a book. See that right here? It comes with a nice little book. It tells you how to make the damn thing. See this? That's the picture. That's the picture, right? That's what you want at the end. But what happens to you in life is that that's what you want, right? That's what you want. You go, Ya Allah, I want this picture. Picture perfect marriage, picture perfect education, picture perfect career, picture perfect right here. And Allah goes, okay, no problem. No problem. Here we go. He said, peace. You said, I want a picture perfect. I'm looking at a baby picture. When I have my baby, it look like this. Allah says, oh, no problem. Here's a diaper. Allah gives you a peace. He said, oh, entrepreneurship. I want to be making a lot of money. I'm driving around. Allah goes, okay, no problem. Here you go. Make some cold calls. Make some phone calls. You go, peace. No, Allah, I don't want this peace. I don't want this peace. But you can't make this. All the peace adds up. Even the most toughest times in your life. Even the most difficult things in your life. You need it. Or else this peace not going to work. You see, Yusuf alayhi salam needed that he will be taken away from his father and sold into slavery. Because if he's not sold into slavery, he can be bought by the finance minister. And if he's not bought by the finance minister, he can't be in that house. If he can't be in that house, he can't have that allegation of affair. If he doesn't have the allegation of affair, he cannot be in jail. If he's not in jail, he cannot meet the two people. If he doesn't meet the two people, he will not be known to the king. If he's not known to the king, he will not become the finance minister. Every piece of your life makes sense. The pain that you're going through right now in your life, Whether you're struggling financially, you're struggling in your academics, or something going on in your friendship, in your relationship, I am telling you that's a peace that you need. Allah said you need this peace. Muslim community said, you know what? We want to make the Muslim community better. We've been here, since the time of slavery, and then the 60s. We Muslims need to engage more. Allah said, okay, no problem, Donald Trump. Here you go. Take a piece. Allah gives it Donald Trump. He said, no. I don't want Donald Trump. I just want the Muslim community to get better. Allah said, no, you need the peace. The peace makes the picture. You need the peace. You need the pain. You need the tough time in your life. You need the hardships in your life. You need what you're going through right now. And that's what I'm telling you. Life in perspective. And also when you know your life in perspective, you also know that in the grand scheme of things, the cosmos, your problem is very small. You see, when I have someone come in, whether in my therapy or in my coaching work with folks, high-powered leaders, and they're going through a lot of stress. And I was working with this person. He's in charge of a large organization. Going through a lot of stress. I said, okay, hold on for a minute. I said, you, compared to the Earth, how big are you? He said, I'm insignificant. I said, good. How many planets are there in our solar system? Well, we got 9, Pluto, depending. Okay, all right. So, all right. What's the distance from here to go to Mars? Counting light years, and then all that makes up one solar system, and millions of solar system makes up our Milky Way galaxy, and that's one galaxy in the eternity of. When you start thinking about that, you say, "Damn, my life is so insignificant." My problem, my frustration, my worries, my drama that I'm going through in my social media, it's like puny. You are sitting here in 4 or 5 years, another whole group of students will be sitting here. You'll be gone, nameless. Your life in perspective. Your life in perspective. And you know that Allah controls. When you know that grand scheme of cosmos, and you look at that, you go, man, Allah is in control. Allah is in control. Your life is Allah is in control, fully control. And so your stress goes away. Sometimes when we're going through a tough time, we feel like we have to fix it. When I'm going through a tough time in my life, and I tried my best, I did my best, and I can't do anything about it, I become so excited. You know why I become excited? Because now it's not in my hand. It's in Allah's hand. I tried my best. It's in Allah's hand. And I would rather be in His hand than mine. I would rather it be in His hand than mine. Sometimes you walk around with stress. Let go of that burden, people. Let your shoulder drop. Stop thinking you're going to fix the problem. Let it go. Just let that burden off your shoulder. You are trying to fix your life. That's the problem. You're not in charge. You can't even control the weather. You can't even control if you're going to go down the elevator in the next 1 hour. You can't. You're not in control. You're not in control. Allah is. Get that in your head. Put your life in perspective. It puts your life in perspective. And so when life is down, you know where you're headed. And then when life is up, if you're going through an amazing time right now and you're like, I don't know about all this depression, sadness talk you're doing, my life is good, right? I'm in a good place. If your life is at a good place, you know what knowing perspective does? It keeps you in check. Ibn Hajar Asqalani, one of the great scholars, he was traveling in Egypt, and he's a very wealthy scholar. And while he was traveling, he had a big entourage, right? Very wealthy scholar. And one non-Muslim dude, he came up to me and said, you're a scholar. Didn't your prophet say? Didn't the prophet of God say that this life is a prison for the believers, and and this life is supposed to be paradise for the non-believers? Look at you and look at me. I don't seem to be in a paradise, and you don't seem to be in Jahannam. You have all this luxury. He said, my life, what Allah gave me in this life, compared to what Allah has in paradise, I'm still in a prison. When you're going through amazing time in life, you think you're on top of the world, realize it has nothing on Jannah. You're not even close. You think you're on a Jannah right now, right? You're top of the world. And you think, you're in the best relationship, you're the most amazing person, you think your education doing well, internship going well. I am telling you, Jannah is nowhere even compared to your crap. It's not. It's not even comparable. Perspective. Small piece, perspective. And also, you realize Allah is in control, you also stay in line. Because no matter how, sometimes when we're going through amazing time in our life, we start to commit sins. Who needs Allah when things are going right? I could sin. I feel like I'm doing amazing. I don't need Allah in my life. Right? What is this Quran stuff? I don't need it. I'm doing good. Islam hasn't helped me. Right? And when you know that Allah is in control, and Allah is in full power, and that you are not in control, then it helps you to stay in check. Because you know Allah sees you, Allah hears you. And He's in charge. He could take it away. He could change your circumstance overnight. Overnight. You're not in control. I was in, like a few weeks ago, I was in my house having dinner, right? And all of a sudden, literally, this never ever happened to me in my life. I'm eating a chicken. And I'm eating a chicken, and all of a sudden, somehow this bone in the chicken, very sharp, somehow wing bone or something, gets stuck in my tonsil. Within the span of a second, I had plans for the night, right? I was going to do something, I had to work, take care of something, I had to go outside for something. Within the span of 30 seconds, all my plan changed. I got that stuck in my brain, in my tonsils. Within the span of 30 seconds, now I'm gagging, I can't breathe. And my dad is like, should we call 911? I said, no, I'll drive to LIJ. I'm not going to my local hospital, right? I'm not promoting LIJ here, but I'm just saying, Elmar sucks, and so does Queen's Hospital. Okay, so what I'm saying is, I was like, I'm going to drive to Long Island, okay? I'll go to LIJ. And really, at times I thought, man, I don't think I can make it. Within the span of a few seconds, I went to the ER, I had to wait like 6 hours. They take like forever to come, unless you're dying, they take forever, right? And, because there's some people there with Fugazi problems, like, oh, my ankle hurts. How long have you been hurting for? Like 3 months. Why are you here today? I don't know, I just showed up, right? And I go there, and it take, within the span of 30 seconds, my life switched around. I know a brother, he was walking, I saw him in the masjid, right? He went to a doctor said, oh my goodness, why have you been? I see some, we did a CAT scan and we got to do biopsy, cancer. Within the span of a few weeks, you saw the deterioration after his chemo. You're not in control. And so even if we're going through the ups of life and you feel amazing and you think everything is going right, you don't need Allah in your life, who needs Quran, who needs Salah, I'll do that when it's final time again. If you that point in your life, know that Allah is in control and put your life right back in perspective. It puts your life in perspective. It really does. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the end of the passage, He says that He will ask you about every single ni'mah. Every single ni'mah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask you about. Ani na'im. Every single ni'mah. So every single blessing Allah gave you in this life, you will be accounted for. And the interesting thing is, in the beginning of the surah, Allah says, Alhaakumu takathur, right? That all this ni'mah diverts you, right? It keeps you away. Now, it could divert you in many ways. For some of you, it diverts you away from Allah. For some of you, it diverts you away from, your family. Your competition for more, your desire for more and more in life diverts you in many ways. Some of you, it could be in a religious sense, right? For a lot of you, it's in a religious sense. You're diverting from Allah. You forget about hellfire and paradise. Yeah, that's one angle. Also in other ways. If things are going good in your life, you get diverted in other ways. You mess up relationships, or you get diverted in a way. Even people are doing Islamic work. They're doing charity work. They're involved in Muslim activism, but they forget about Islam, right? And you get lost in the track. Even doing Islamic work, you get lost in the track. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, at the end of that passage, He says that you'll be asked about every single ni'mah. Every single ni'mah you'll be asked about. So this ni'mah diverts you, right? But the interesting part is at the end of the surah, Allah flips it. That this ni'mah, the amount of blessing you have, shouldn't divert you. It should actually remind you of Allah. It should actually put your life in perspective. It should actually, so your gratitude, your contentment, your thankfulness should not only helps you in the hard times, but also in the good times. So what was the second word, people? Gratitude. Second word is gratitude. Once you have that perspective, then you have gratitude. But I only have like 2 minutes. Right? How much time I have? I have 10 minutes. It keeps extending. Okay, very good. All right, that's typically what happens. Either I force to extend or people just extend. Okay, so we've got 10 more minutes. Is that cool with you guys? Well, you guys are losers. What else do you have to do? Come on. No, I'm kidding. You guys are real winners here, right? Real winners. Janjay, winning people. Somebody just lost in the back. Sister, winning and losing. Talking about winning and losing. Okay, very good. So, somebody's lost. I had to help her. Okay, so we're talking about what? Donald Trump? No, what are we talking about? Number 2, what is it? Gratitude. So once you have perspective, the second thing, do you see how I realize we're talking about the ups of life and the downs of life, but we're talking about the same thing, right? It's the same coin, a different side. So in your gratitude, whether you're going through down or up in life, that there is gratitude involved in both. How? When Musa alayhi salam was, he grew up as a prince in the house of Pharaoh, and fast forward, he got into a fight, and not a bar fight, and a street fight, and he got into a fight, and he punched somebody, that guy died. He ended up running away from Egypt, and ended up in a small little oasis called Madian, right? And when he was in Madian, he saw this, 2 women, and they needed some help. He helped them, and he sat down under a tree. And then he made this famous dua. I have an entire talk on this and the psychology of your mindset when you're going through that kind of pain in your life. And he sat down and he made a dua to Allah. فَسَقَالَهُمَا ثُمَّ تَوَلَّوْا إِلَى الذِّلِّ فَقَالَ رَبِّي إِنِّي لِمَا أَنزَلْتَ إِلَيَّ مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَقِيرٌ. And he turns to Allah. He says, Ya Allah, I'm in need of whatever good that you sent my way. So he ran away from Egypt. So he has no clothes, no food, no shelter. He's illegal immigrant. He's homeless, jobless, right? And he's in this small little oasis, and he helps these 2 women. He sits down next to a tree, and he turns to Allah and says, Ya Allah, I'm in need of whatever good you sent my way. And that dua is very powerful. It has 2 sides to it. One side is that he is acknowledging that, Ya Allah, I'm in a bad spot. Help me out. Literally, my back is broken. Look, I ran away from Egypt. The Egyptian security forces are looking for me. I ran away. I'm here. I got no job. I don't know anybody in this place. I'm illegal. I don't have food. Only clothes I have are the clothes on the back of my, on my back. That's it. Ya Allah, I'm done. Like, help me out here. And so what that teaches you is 2 things. One is that when you're going through the down of life, it's okay to say that you're in pain. Because you're a Muslim, you can't be, you can't be displeased with Allah. No, you're going through pain. It's okay to say I'm going through pain. It's okay to cry. It's okay to say that I'm just going through a tough time right now. How you doing? Good. Alhamdulillah. It's good. Alhamdulillah is good. But why do you add ala kulli hal? Because you're acknowledging that you might be going through some tough time too. You're making shukr. You're still content. You're still grateful. But you're going through a tough time. Rasulullah, when his son died, he was crying. So he said, if the mountain saw my pain, it would break into pieces. This is Rasulullah. He didn't go, Inna lillahi raji'un, no. He's a human being, felt pain. It's okay to say you're in pain. You went through a tough time. It's okay to cry. It's okay. You don't have to be a tough person. You're not being ungrateful. At the same time, when you're going through ups in life, you're going through an amazing time in your life, it's okay to enjoy it. It's okay. You don't have to feel guilty. Oh, brothers, you don't know people in Burma. Yeah. But I just got an internship. Like, I just got a job. I could be happy about that. But about the brothers in Syria. Yeah, I know. I could do something about that. I'm trying my best, and I'll do whatever in my capacity, right? But it's okay to enjoy the ni'mah Allah gave you. Allah says that He gave, like Allah gave everything in this world for your enjoyment. It's okay to enjoy it. It's okay to enjoy it. This man came to Rasulullah, right? And this person, he came, he looked all shabby, hair not done, clothing all raggedy. And Rasulullah said, you got money? He said, yeah. He said, you have clothes? Yes, I do. Why are you looking like that? That's not being pious. Allah wants to see the ni'mah that He blessed His servant with. Allah wants to see the ni'mah that He blessed His slave with. Don't look all raggedy. If you can afford it, that's yours. You see, what is israf? Excess in Islam. Israf is sinful, right? Excess in spending, excess in everything. But the israf is depending on you and your circumstance. It depends on your bank balance. It's not for everybody. My israf is not your israf. If I can afford, Benz, and you can afford a Toyota, that's our level. It's about your level. And so it's okay to enjoy it. It's okay to be, you don't have to be guilty about your blessing that you have as a first world country. No. Say Alhamdulillah, Allah gave me these blessings. It's good. But it's about gratitude. And so that same dua of Musa alayhi salam is very, very phenomenal. Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khayrin faqir. Very powerful. Because he's also saying, Ya Allah, I'm in need of whatever you sent my way. And the scholars of the Quran, they comment that he's also not only, he's saying, Ya Allah, my back is broken, I need your help. He's also acknowledging the blessing that he already got. You know what blessings he got? Because anzalta ilayya min khayrin, meaning that whatever you sent my way already. What did Allah send so far? A tree, some water, and a shade. He's being thankful for that. He's being thankful for that. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us through the dua of Musa that about gratitude. So when you're going through the downs of your life, things are going horrible. Things are not going right. You have to be able to find the small things that are working out. You say, you know what, my life sucks. Okay, what is it that's not sucking? There is something that's good in your life. There was a study done, by psychologist and Robert Emmons, and a fascinating study where they looked at people, 3 groups. They had 3 groups, and they told one group, okay, you reflect on what annoyed you this week. Write that down. Okay, another group. What went right, even if small, like coffee was in the right temperature, or somebody opened the door for me, I got up in the right side of the bed, whatever, right? Small things in your life that you could be thankful for. Another group, what about neutral stuff? They found after a few weeks of doing this, that people who are just write down the small good stuff in their life, they are more happier and more optimistic and physically more healthy. That's crazy. Literally, there's another study, I have to share this, there's another study where they had people write down 3 things. You get up every day in the morning, write down 3 small things that you're thankful for. 3 small things. I know everything sucks in your life, yeah, I got it, okay. But 3 small things that are okay. If you really wanted to say, alhamdulillah, yeah, I guess, yeah, I still have my family. I guess, I lost my job, but, I still have pretty good savings. What is a small thing that's going good in your life? 3 things every day in the morning. You write it down, and there's a study where they did this for just 20 minutes, for a few weeks. You wouldn't believe this. These people had lower cholesterol level. Can you believe that? Lower cholesterol level. Literally, it has that much of an impact. Being able to have that gratitude. And when you're going through the up of life, you're going through high of life, also being grateful. Because you know why? When Musa as-salam told his people, gave a khutbah, he said what? That وَإِتَّعَذَنْ رَبُّكُمْ لَإِنْ شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. So you're going through amazing things in your life, things are working out. Even then you got to be thankful. You know why? Because Allah will increase it. Allah says, you're thankful, I will increase it. And so having that gratitude, in conclusion, as it says here. No, okay. All right, look at this. I only got through 2/3 of my talk. That's fine. Okay. I don't like rushing things, so I wanted to get you the 2 points. The last point we'll talk about it some other day. Sounds like a plan? Okay. So what are the first point, people? Perspective. The second point? Gratitude. So having that gratitude. Okay, and of course, once you have that gratitude, I'll give you a preview. Once you have that gratitude leads you to action. Because you have that gratitude, now you can focus on what is going right in your life. When people come and say, you know what, I give you a paper, right? Big paper like this, while white, I draw a small little dot, black dot. I ask you, okay, so what's on the paper? You go, black dot. Big white paper like this, I draw a little marker here and I put a dark spot right here. I ask you, what do you see? You go, dark spot. I said, what about the entire empty space? Oh, I was just focusing on that dark spot. Most of us looking at our life, just looking at what is not going right. I'm telling you, it's okay. You could cry about it, you could be sad about it, you could complain about it, that's all right. It's okay to express those. And if you're going through amazing things, that's amazing too. But being able to focus on what is going right in your life and focusing on that and being able to be thankful for that. That's that powerful. And once you do that, what happens is you're able to take action. Once you can focus on what you do have then you can stop freezing and move forward. You can do something about it. You can take some action. And so, as I end, in conclusion, I wanted to leave off not just talking to you about it. I wanted to all of us to, inshallah, to with me do it together. Okay. So I want you to reflect on what is going right in your life, and we're going to do this together. Okay. Sounds like a plan? We have our little soundtrack going. Yes. I want everyone to kindly stand up. Stand up. Stand up. All right, pause it for a second. Pause it for a second. Where's my people out there? Okay, ready? Okay, so what we're going to do, I just don't want to give a whole lecture for 45 minutes and not leave you with having done something. Okay, so pause for a moment. All right. So what we're going to do is very simple. It's taken from one of my workshops. What I do at one point of the workshop is I have people reflect on something, and this cracking been annoying me the entire talk. Is that? Okay, very good. This is John J. This is CUNY budget. So, okay, I didn't say anything about CUNY. All right, so what I'm saying is, in this, as we end, I want us to not only having heard this, but really do it, okay? So we need to be in a place where we actually find what is going right in our life. So I want you to take a few moments and think about a time in your life that something that you thought was not going to work out, worked out. Okay? And as we do this, we need to get in that zone first. So I want you to take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. All right, inhale, exhale. I look like a conductor. All right, so inhale, hold, exhale. The brother likes it a lot. He's recording this. All right, very good. So, no, don't worry about it. It's okay. It's okay. I want you to stretch up for a moment. Stretch up. Stretch up for a moment. Yes, very good. No, we're not doing Bhangra. It's just stretch up. All right, very good. Put your hand down. Put your hand down. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. We want to be in this good place where we do this, okay? So it's not just talking about this. If I'm going to, I didn't get to my second, and I get to my last part of my talk, which was supposed to be the longest part. But we left off with the action, taking action, and then finding help. If you're going through downs in life, you have to be able to find people to help and seek out those support. If you're going through ups in life, support other people. Okay, but that's a preview. Okay, I want you to think about the time in your life that something was not going to work out, but then it worked out. Just think about that moment. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, close your eyes. Deep breath in, exhale, close your eyes. Keep your eye closed. Keep your eye closed until the very, very end. What is it that in your life that you can be thankful for? Think about, make a list in your mind. What is it that's going right in your life? I know there are a lot of things that are not going right, but what is it that's going right in your life right now? If you really tried hard, what is it going right? You know, sometimes we forget because we're moving so fast in life that we forget to stop and reflect. That's why Allah forces us to stop 5 times a day and read Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. You get forced to stop, pause, and go Alhamdulillah. I want you to think about the moment in your life where something worked out. You were about to be in a tough place, and Allah did something for you. Or what are some small things that you're thankful for? Today, what are you thankful for? This room, being in a AC controlled environment, having nice chair. What is it? Having clothes on your back, having food, not being worried about bombs falling. Whatever is it, small or big in your life that you're thankful for. And as we play the track, is to help you get in that zone. I want you to put your hand next to your heart. I want you to take your right hand and put it next to your heart, okay? And as he plays the track, I want you to think about that moment in your life, and I want you to think about what are some small things you're thankful for. What are some small things you're thankful for? Keep your eye closed. Keep your eye closed. And I want you to really get serious. You're talking to Allah and you want to really be thankful. What is it that you're thankful for? I want you to really make that mental list in your mind. And really think about it and really feel that gratefulness. And say, Ya Allah, Alhamdulillah. When you really feel it, turn to Allah and say, Alhamdulillah. Ya Allah, thank you. You gave me a lot. You did a lot for me. I have a lot going right in my life, right now, that I could be thankful for. And say Alhamdulillah when you really feel it. Don't just say it out of your tongue. Really mean it when you say it this time. First time in your life, you're going to say Alhamdulillah and you're going to mean it. Say Alhamdulillah and take a deep breath. Alhamdulillah. And really mean it. Because Allah says, La in shakartum la azidannakum. Allah will increase it. Whatever little good you have in your life or a lot good, Allah will make it more and more. But you got to be thankful. Alhamdulillah. Take a deep breath. And when you feel ready, you can take a seat. And you can take a seat, inshallah. Open your eyes, take a deep breath, have a seat. Jazakallah khair. I hope you're able to not only have this in your mind, but experience it. And inshallah, some other day we'll continue with the last part, which is supposed to be the bigger part. Inshallah. Jazakallah khair.